Georgia's in the house, Emory University with Sarbeth Fleming, the Dean of Admissions.
Yes.
That's a major role right there. Let's talk about that because this is the first year for you in that position.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about that.
Okay, well, I've been in higher ed for about 22 years, both on the college side as well as the high school side. And so a huge initiative that a lot of colleges were talking about recently were recruiting more first-generation students, recruiting more low-income students, recruiting more Black and brown students, right? And so I was in a conversation with some deans and said, we're recruiting these students, but who's there to make sure that they're thriving once they get to campus? And so Emory University reached out to me and said, hey, would you like to be that person to connect them, to help them go from being admitted to thriving their first year? And so that's a role that was created for me, and I'm so thankful. And so part of my job is not only once the students are admitted, but making sure they know where the resources are on campus to make sure that they're thriving their first year.
Now that seems to be a personal mission for you now,
Absolutely.
right? Because many of the students, as you're thinking of first-gen students, look like you and I,
Yes.
and the resources are limited.
Yes.
And so that personal mission for you to make sure that it happens, are you taking information that you're learning here at NACAC to take back to Emory University?
Absolutely. So I know that I am fortunate and blessed. My great-great-grandmother graduated from an HBCU in 1869, right? And so something that my family has always taught us is education. Once you get education in your mind, no one can take it from you. And so that is something that I truly believe in, to make sure that students have that access for education. And so NACAC helps me in that we're not working in special individual boxes.
Silos.
Silos, thank you. Everyone here is for the betterment of students. And so when I'm at NACAC, I'm meeting people and saying, what are you doing for these populations? How are you making sure that students are thriving and not just surviving? And so being here, it's a think tank, right? For every type of college, every type of universities, talking to high school counselors, hearing their feedback on why their students were successful at one college or why their students weren't successful. And so I really use this time just to get an understanding of what people all around the world are doing for the betterment of students.
What are the top 3 lessons that you're taking from this conference this year, heading back to Emory?
One of the things that, and I've already emailed my office, is are we being proactive, right? We all know that there was a huge natural disaster, Hurricane Ida. And so, for example, instead of having students to ask for fee waivers if they're applying, why not just waive it, right? Why not just say, if you're from these impacted areas, your fee is waived? And even though that might be a $70 application fee per student, how much better is that for us to be proactive versus having a student to have to ask? And so that's one thing that I'm taking back, is just being proactive in our mission and not having the resources there, but making someone ask for those resources. Another thing that I'm taking back is just even here in the vendors exhibition, things that recruited us, right? Nice shiny brochures. Students don't do that anymore. So what are the technological resources that are out there?
Yeah, because we got to use digital and
Absolutely.
technology, right? Because that's how that's their lane.
Exactly.
That's their jam, as they say.
I spoke to one vendor who said, hey, we create customized virtual tours on the cell phone.
Oh.
So a student clicks what they're interested in, and when they come to your campus, it tells them exactly where they should go.
Wow.
And so things like that, where back in the day we would give a paper map and say, hey, go have fun. And so learning what are the ways that we can really reach the generations that are looking at colleges and universities. And then the third thing I'm really taking away is just making sure I'm understanding all of the different platforms out there. as far as College Board, as far as Common Application, as far as ACT, SAT, and just understanding the avenues and the paths that students have to go through, and learning and making sure that when they contact me, I know exactly what they're talking about. And so that's a part too.
Wow, well, you're taking a lot back to the table. This is wonderful, and thank you for stopping by. Congratulations to you.
Thank
and when
you.
I'm in the ATL,
Absolutely.
I'm calling you.
Yes, yes.
Thanks for stopping by.
No worries.